Rasulullah, we openly bear witness that there's no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we witness shahidun. Shahidun means that you lay your life down for your word. That's your bond. You should give your life before you go back on your word. Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'm always grateful. Always. Allahu Akbar. Always grateful to come to Jumu'ah. I don't care where I am. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us Yawmul Jumu'ah, this day of Jumu'ah, this day of reflection. Reflection out of this ignorant dunya. Jumu'ah is actually mental therapy, if you want a scientific definition for it. This is mental and spiritual therapy for your soul. The Prophet Muhammad, directed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, had instructed. Jumu'ah is fardhu. It is not sunnah. Fardhu means this has to be done if you claim to be a Muslim. Sunnah means you do it if you want to. It's your choice. Jumu'ah is not a choice. Jumu'ah is obedience to Allah. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Hadith has said that if we miss 3 Jumu'ahs without some sound foundational medical reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a mark on your kubluhum, or your sudur, and that is your heart. So why would Prophet Muhammad ﷺ say something like that if Jumu'ah wasn't important? The Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that Jumu'ah is the most important day of the year. And I don't think people understand that. He didn't say Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Ahad. He said Yawmul Jumu'ah. Why? When we read things about Prophet Muhammad, what he said, we need to reflect. Don't just chew on it and say, I got it. No. Wa dhikr Allahu Akbar. That's in the Quran. Wa dhikr Allahu Akbar. Wa dhikr. This is dhikr. Allahu Akbar. Think, ponder, reflect, meditate, levitate. Close the door in the dark and think on it. That's what dhikr means. Wasn't Prophet Muhammad ﷺ in Hidr, in cave, Jabal al-Nur? What was he doing up there? Thinking. That's what it means. Think. Find a place in your home and go in the basement and close the door and get rid of everybody and think. That's what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing. He left the madness in Mecca. He had to climb up a mountain and close the door. So you have to find a place when the kids are sleeping, when your husband is handled, when your wife is settled, and you need to go into your cave. All of us have a cave. The cave represents your mental reflection. It's dark in a cave, isn't it? Why do you think it's dark in a cave? Didn't the prophet say that he was in the darkness, and out of the darkness came the light? Didn't Jibril light up the cave? This is Quran. So we have to go in our cave. We have to find a place where we can reflect on our life, where we're going, and our religion. Take your problems in the cave. That's what Muhammad did, didn't he? And what happened? He took his problem in the cave, and Allah gave him the solution to his problem. Jabal al-Nur, that's what it means. Jabal means mountain, Nur means light. That's why it's called Jabal al-Nur. He got the light, not that kind of light, this kind of light, the Quran. This is the real light, that's artificial. This comes out of this. This comes from Allah. Allahu Akbar. The Quran comes from Allah. Everything else is created. So when I say nur, when I say light, I'm not talking about artificial electricity. Allah created electricity. I'm talking about wisdom, knowledge, application, peace. With knowledge comes peace. the waters come down. Allahu Akbar. That's what happened to Muhammad. So, what I'm saying to you today at Yom Jumu'ah, that your Jumu'ah, first of all, is obligatory. It's necessary. If you're functionally, medically able to get to Jumu'ah, you should go. Because you're going to receive benefits from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you don't even know about. Can I prove that? Absolutely. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to us in the Quran Kareem, He makes it very clear to us. He says that Jumu'ah is fardun, is obligatory, but there are many, many benefits in the Jumu'ah. Jumu'ah is the 62nd surah of the Quran. 62nd surah. The Quran has 114 surahs, and the 62nd is entitled Jumu'ah. When you go home tonight, read Jumu'ah. It's only 11 verses. That's it. 11 verses. But look what Allah says in 11 verses. He says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. He says, Ya ladina amanu idni salakti. Yawmul Jumu'ah faz'alwa dhikr Allah wa dalakum khayrul lakum in kuntum ta'lamun. Allah says, O you who believe, O you who believe, O you who believe. It didn't say, O you Muslim. He says, O you who believe. There's a difference between a sister that's a Muslim and one that's a believer. Big difference. Same with the brother. The believer is way up here close to Allah. The Muslim is down here. Okay? Now, the believer is the one that got out of the bed this morning at 6:10 and made that Fajr prayer, male or female. They got up and made the prayer while the Muslim was sleeping. I hope you get the picture I'm painting. So the believer is more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when they're not in the masjid, when they're not around Muslims, when they're in the street. They remember Allah, and their thinking modifies their conduct, how they behave towards people. See, I can come up here and make salat and say, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and then go stick up the 7-Eleven. Or go pimp women down on Dickinson Street. Or go do a little coke back here on Trumbull. I can do that. But that's a Muslim, that's not a believer. See, the believer is conscious of Allah when no one's around. That's the point. The fact that they took their shahada, your shahada should affect your conduct, your thinking. That's the whole point. That's the taqwa. Taqwa means when you're in a different situation, how do I conduct myself? Do I disrespect this person because he's a Christian or a Yahudi? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam never did that. He never did that. He respected Christians, Jews, Yahudis, disbelievers, all of them. And for that, Allah gave him the Quran. Allahu Akbar. So Allah says, Ya ladina amanu. Now you know who the believer is. When the call is proclaimed to prayer on Friday, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah, and leave off your business and traffic, and that is best for you if you but knew. So this is what you're doing up here. I want y'all to know what you're doing. You gave up 45 minutes to come up here? 60 minutes from your job? Why? Because Allah has ordained this. This 45 minutes you're giving up right now is probably the best 45 minutes you gave all week. Because you get a chance to get away from the madness for 45 minutes. And you hear what your Creator has to say about you. Allah says, proclaim the prayer. Rahman called the adhan. He said, Hayya ala salat. Listen to him. Hayya ala salat, hayya ala salat. 2 times. And he said it on the right side. Then he said Hayya al-Falah 2 times on the left side. Always listen to the muezzin. The adhan is the essence of the religion. You hear me? It's the whole essence of the whole religion. He said, Hayya al-Salat, come to worship. Not just physically, mentally, spiritually, economically. It's not just about bumping your head on the ground. That's not making sajda. If you're bumping your head on the ground and you still don't believe in Allah, you ain't doing nothing. That's what you call bumping. Hayya al-Salat, come to humility. When you walk in the door of the threshold of the masjid, the hadith says you're supposed to come in on your right foot. Some of y'all should know this. He said you should come in the masjid on your right foot. Why? Why? A lot of Muslims don't even know. They just do it. What does it mean? It means you should come in with your conscious mind. Oh yeah. Your right foot represents your conscious mind. Your left foot is your subconscious mind. Allahu Akbar. This is Muhammad's report. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So you come in the masjid thinking, consciously, aware, mentally alert. Listen to what the Imam is going to say, not from the Imam, but from the Quran. It's not about the Imam, it's about the Quran. Ain't about me, it's about what Allah says. So that's why you come in the masjid on the right foot. Now you know. Because if you look at it physically or biologically, it doesn't make sense. I was in Jersey City, and a brother thought he was heavy. Well, he was like 400 pounds, so maybe that's what he was talking about. He thought he was heavy. And the brother preceding me stepped in the masjid on his left foot. And the brother that thought he was heavy proceeded to correct the brother that went in on the left foot. Okay? So finally, I asked him politely, why is it important to come in the masjid on the right foot? He says, it's tradition, brother. I said, okay. I said, well, do you have any hikmah? Hikmah means wisdom of the ritual. He says it's tradition. So when he said that 2 times, I knew he didn't know. But Allahu Akbar, he's still my brother. You don't hurt your sister or you hurt your brother. You don't do that. Prophet Muhammad didn't do that. So I politely explained to him, I asked him a question. I said, suppose a brother only had one left foot. That means he can't come in the masjid? He walked away. He answered his own question. See, when you answer your own question, it's the best answer. Because he saw what I was trying to relate to him. It wasn't about the physical foot, it was about the niyyah. It's always about your intention. Before you make your prayer, you gotta make your niyyah, your intention, right? So he finally got it. So I tried to help him. Not beat him up, but help him. We should be kind to the believers, the Prophet said, and hard on the disbeliever. That's kindness. If you know something and you know someone did something wrong, you don't beat them over the head. You don't hurt them mentally, emotionally. That's not Islam. The Prophet Muhammad never did that. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. In fact, when you do that, Allah will bless you more. Because you showed compassion to your sister, or you showed it to your brother, and Allah will give you more blessings from Him. Allahu Akbar. Ya ladina amanu idni salati, O you who believe, when the call is proclaimed to prayer, the adhan, hayya ala salat, hayya ala salat, hayya ala falah, the day of assembly. Allah says, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah. Now, you don't have to know Arabic for this. It would be nice. The Fusha Arabiya. Allah says, hasten earnestly. All y'all know what hasten means. That means to step. Okay? Move. Movement. Movement. So Allah says, hasten earnestly. That means not a casual walk down the road. going to Jumuah. No. Hasten earnestly. Get to Jumuah. Tell the boys you need to be taking a long lunch break or whatever. So Allah said, hasten earnestly. Earnestly means sincerely. You come to Jumu'ah sincerely. You come to Jumu'ah with an open heart. With an open heart. That's how you should come to Jumu'ah. The heart should be open. If the heart is not open, how can the blessings get into it to benefit you? So Allah says, hasten earnestly to what? To the dhikr of Allah, to the remembrance of Allah. That's why I'm here. I got obligation. I got obligation. You have to come to Jumu'ah for the remembrance of Allah. I'm here for Allah. Because Allah has said, do it. I don't question it. I hit it. I'm done. That's me. That was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was Abu Bakr. That was Ali. That was Master Bilal. That was Uthman. That was Hamza. That was Lady Khadija. Aisha. They fought with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The sisters. Oh yes. The sisters were companions of the Prophet. The sisters were carriers of the Quran. The sisters were. Allahu Akbar. So just because you male gender, that don't mean jack. If you don't have the heart of the Quran, just because you're a man, some sisters got more heart than brothers. I ain't got no choice. I'm laying it cold. Yes. Allahu Akbar. In fact, the first Muslim wasn't Abu Bakr, radiallahu anhu. I love Abu Bakr. The first Muslim was a woman, Lady Khadija, radiallahu anhu. Peace be upon Khadija. A woman. Women have always been at the front line of Al-Islam. I don't care about the rituals sitting in the back and all that. They're sitting back there to push you to do what you're supposed to do. Your woman has your back. That's why she's sitting back there. She got your back. And the word khalifa means to lead from the rear. Go look it up. To lead from the rear. When you do something, your woman's got your back. Allahu Akbar. ذكر الله وضعلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. Hasten earnestly while dhikr Allahu Akbar to the remembrance of Allah. And leave off your business and traffic. And that is best khairun. That is best for you if you but knew. Allahu Akbar. Every time I read that, I think I grow a brain cell. So that means that there's something happening here at the Jumu'ah that I don't know. Allah says in the Quran, that is best for you if you but knew. Kuntum ta'lamun. So that means there's something happening right here in this musalla that I'm not even conscious of. None of us are. Allah says it here in the Quran. Every time you come to Jumu'ah, there are malaikatus here. Malaikatu, angels. This ain't me. This is the Quran. Now, what is your perception of an angel? Not this stuff they put on the idiot box. I'm not talking about white, fluffy European people with wings. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that at all. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about influences from God that can take any shape or any form or any gender. Oh yeah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was in Ramadan. And a man walked up to him in all white, sat down on the ground, and put his hand on his right thigh, and said, and asked him, "Oh Muhammad, tell me about this religion of Islam." There was no dirt, no dust. How can you be in the desert with all white with no dust on you? He got up and left and walked away, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that was Jibril. He came to teach you your religion. And you can check this out for yourself. So angels can take any form. Be careful how you disrespect people. You don't know who you're talking to. The beggar on the street, you don't know who you're talking to. You're on the bus and a woman gets on the bus and she's got a baby and you're sitting there, you don't know who you're talking to. You got a couple of Ben Franklins in your pocket, the brother want a cup of coffee, ask you for a cup of coffee, you don't know who you're talking to. That's what I mean. Angels are everywhere, including the Muslim. The angels know those of us that are here that are believers, and those of us just BSing. I'm getting ready to it, I ain't got time. He knows. The angels know. They report to Allah. Your conduct is reported to by Allah. Everything you do is reported to Allah. You can't escape Allah. Stop wasting your time. So the angels monitor your conduct and your behavior. They report to Allah. So it's important that we put the best deed out front. That's what counts. What you try to do. That's what's important. I don't care if you know the whole Quran in Fusha Arabiya or you know one ayah in English. The brother that knows, the sister that knows one ayah in English but takes that ayah and puts it into practice of her conduct is better than the brother that knows the whole Quran in Fusha Arabiya and don't do nothing. Think about it. What good is it if you know the Quran and you sitting down, you ain't doing a damn thing for the community? And damn is not a bad word. Because if I want to stop water from running, I build a dam. And Allah will act from it. So you have to put your Al-Islam into action. That's what Prophet Muhammad did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He put it into action. That's all we have to do. Because once we put it into action, Allah steps up into the action. And when Allah steps up into anything, it's going to be successful. Has to be. Because He's Al-Aziz. Aziz means exalted power. Not just power. Exalted power. And people get that confused. North Korea has a bomb, trying to get a bomb. America got stockpiles of bombs. China got bombs. Russia got bombs. Nuclear bombs. But they don't understand. See, that's power. But Al-Aziz is over that. If you look up Al-Aziz, it says exalted power. Way above the nuclear power. And they got power now, don't get me wrong. Aziz, I got busy with Aziz. Al-Aziz, exalted power, it means that this is the supreme power over all energy. Can I prove that? Absolutely. There's something that hangs up in that solar system called Al-Shamsu, the sun. The sun has the power to neutralize any power on the earth. In fact, for the solar system, for that fact. Okay? In order for them to build a bomb, they have to go down into the Hadi, into the earth. And they mine something called plutonium. Check it for yourself. I did. Plutonium. They go down and they get plutonium. They call it yellow cake here in the laboratory. They call it yellow cake because it glows. In fact, if you get too much of it, you will glow. It's radioactive. Now, radiation modifies your nuclear cells in your body. These are facts. Check it for yourself. It changes your structure in your body. So they go down and they get plutonium, and then they put it into their missiles, and they kill people. That's what a nuclear bomb is. Real simple. But if you listen to what I said before, in order for them to get their power, they had to go down into the Hadi, who was created by who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if it wasn't the earth, they wouldn't have any power. That's my point. That's why Aziz means exalted power over artificial, created, man-made power. He's Al-Aziz, exalted power. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yes, so that's who we worship. Okay? We worship Allah. We ain't got time for no backstreet God or backseat God. We ain't got time for that. Muhammad wasn't into that. He wasn't hearing that. He had no time for no secondary God. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So we need to understand that we worship the most powerful force on this earth. The creation, for that matter. Your Lord, Allah, is God. Let us think about this while we make this short dua. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار آمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Allahu Akbar. The English, O Allah, exalt Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad as thou did exalt Abraham and the followers of Abraham. O Allah, bless Muhammad and the followers of Muhammad as thou did bless Abraham and the followers of Abraham. In all the world, surely you are praised and magnified. Allahu Akbar. This prayer is called Salatul Nabiyun. This is the prayer of the prophets. And when I say the followers of Abraham, that's you, that's me. This is a prayer of the preceding Muslims and the Muslims to come. Allahu Akbar. This is a very important prayer. And it starts with Abraham and it ends with prophecy with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is no more prophets coming on the earth. 50 years from now, I'll be dead and gone. Some of you too, maybe. But Muhammad, somebody else will be standing here where I'm standing. Inshallah, teaching the same thing, Jumu'ah prayer. And we have to understand that Prophet Muhammad will, as long as there are human beings walking in human form, and there's human intelligence, Prophet Muhammad will be the seal. Katama Nabiyun. Yes, the Quran says Katama Nabiyun. Katama means seal. Nabiyun, seal of prophets. Translation. Muhammad will be the example 50 years from now, 100 years from now. As long as the earth endures, according to Allah, Muhammad will be the benchmark for all humanity. Allahu Akbar. That's wonderful. So we're following Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're following the best human being that was ever created. When I was young, I used to read that, and I didn't reflect on it enough. I just finished talking about this in the first part of the Jumu'ah. We have to spend time on thinking. We give more time to looking in the mirror, getting ready to go see somebody, than we do thinking. What you see in the mirror when you go home is not you. That's your human terrestrial creation to live in this environment. Hope you heard the word I used, terrestrial. Go home and look up terrestrial. You are a terrestrial creature to live in this environment. That's why you have 2 eyes and skin. That was necessary for you to exist in this dimension. But you came from a force that didn't have this. Somehow, Allahu Alam, I don't know, I'm not even going to pretend, when the sperm of your daddy reached the ovaries of your mother, that began the process of bringing you into the physical creation. But your soul was already created. Excuse me. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. So what am I saying? Your real creation is not my body. Your real creation is your soul. And what is the soul, Rahman? Your soul is part of your intellect and your heart. That's your soul. And your spirit. That's what's going back to Allah when the body goes into the ground. These are facts. So Allah's not interested in whether I got jerry curls or no curls. He don't care about that. All he wants to know is, Rahman, what did you do? You had the religion. I sent angels to you. I educated you. I gave you a good wife. I gave you a good mother. What did you do? That's all Allah wants to know. It's so simple. L-A-N. Clear. What are you doing with your life? That's all Allah wants to know. Based on what you have done since you've been a Muslim, because everything you did prior to that, Allah forgave you, will determine the destiny of that soul I talked about. Okay? That's all he wants to know. If you have enough good deeds, you go to the Jannah. If you did the best you could with your limited resources, with all your trials and tribulations and all your heartaches, but you did the best that you possibly could, Allah will give you Jannah. Allahu Akbar. If you knew the whole Quran, and you had bank, you had money, and you didn't do anything, and you stepped on people, you abused people, you disrespected people, you're going to hell. I could say it nicely, but I don't have a lot of time. It's just that simple. So we can't blame anyone. I can't blame Shahid, or Hakeem, or Linda. No, it's you. You have a responsibility to maintain yourself and keep your mind in the direction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's your job. You can't blame anybody except you. The management of your intellect is your responsibility. Allah gave it to you. That's why He gave it your mind. He said your mind. Now, if we want to yield that mind over to Shaitan, shame on you. If you can't pull away from the TV, shame on you. If you got a drug habit, shame on you. If you refuse to make prayer, shame on you. If you pull out the Quran once a year when Ramadan comes, shame on you. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. And finally, alhamdulillah, Allah says here, we're still on Jumu'ah, we ain't left it. And Allah says here, O you who believe, when the call is proclaimed to prayer on Friday, the day of the Jumu'ah, hasten earnestly to the remembrance of Allah. And leave off your business and traffic, and that is best for you if you would know. And when the prayer is finished, then may you disperse through the land and seek of the bounty of Allah and celebrate the praises of Allah often that you may prosper. So Allah's telling you, after Jumu'ah is finished, go get your money. It's right here in the Quran. In fact, Rahman said, after he finished Hayya Salah, he said, Hayya al-Falah. Falah means to cultivate. A fali is a farmer, one who cultivates the earth. That's where it comes from. Cultivation. So Allah is saying in the Adhan, Hayya al-Salah, yes, come make the worship. Hayya al-Falah, go get your money. Cultivation. Out of cultivation comes schools for our children, education, business, government, culture. All of that comes out of falah. That's our responsibility. Allah speaks about the 4 rivers that went out from the garden. Education, business, government, culture. Those are the 4 rivers that came out of the garden. Because if we cultivate those 4 rivers, Al-Islam is going to rise right here in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Can I prove that? Yes, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he did it. He did it. So all we have to do is to apply ourselves to the task of the ideas that we have in our mind, and all of us have different ideas, and stick with it and put as Quranic principles behind your ideas, and you will be successful. You have to be. Because Allah don't lie. Humanity may lie, men may lie, women may lie. Allah never lies. Sadaqallahu al-azim, al-azim. Surely God speaks the truth 24/7, 7/24. Allah don't have to lie. We lie. Because everything submits to Allah. We want everything to submit to us. That's why we lie. Which is wrong. So today, your Jumu'ah is very important. Just recapping quickly. Your Jumu'ah, you gave up 45 minutes to come here to hear the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the best move you made all week. Because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that when we come to Jumu'ah with the right attitude and intention, that some of you will receive 400 to 500 blessings from Allah. Think about that one. You gave up 45 minutes and you walking out the door with 500 blessings. That's a good deal. Good deal to me. I'm trying to get mine. That's a real good deal. Just for giving up your time and listening to the Quran. Not me, the Quran. That's what counts. Me, I'm dust. Tarab. Tarab means dust in the Quran. All of us are tarab. All of us are going back to dust. That's where we came from. But the Quran will go on forever. Allah is al-alim, all living, all subsisting. No end to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No end to this Quran. Will go on forever. And as long as you are a Quranic carrier of the germ of the Quran, you will live. Allahu Akbar. And finally, I just want to say this. I don't want to hold any of you. I want you to go back and have a great day. All right, I just want to share this. We will conclude. You are special. No one can be found who has your behavior. No one anywhere likes exactly the same food, music, or art that you do. No one sees things just as you do. In all the world, no one laughs just like you do. Your laughter, your tears, and your feelings are unique to you. You are special. You are one of Allah's special creations. No one has your talent, your abilities, or your ideas. Maybe you know someone who is better at something than you, but no one in the universe can combine your talents, abilities, and ideas as well as you do. All of your qualities combine to form a beautiful symphony of song which no one else in the earth has except you. Through all eternity, no one will ever look, talk, walk, think, or do exactly the same things that you say or do. You are special. You are one of a kind. Because you are special, you will never need to imitate anyone. Anyone. Be yourself. Love yourself. Celebrate the things which make you different from the rest. You are special. You know that it is no accident that you are special. God made you special. So if God made you special, use your talents. Assalamu alaikum. Become.